Cran's Advanced Microscopy Laboratory, AML for short, is where Ireland's most advanced microscopes live, enabling us to see and measure the impossibly small, indeed right down to the very building blocks of life. If you want to compete in the world of nano-research, this is where the action is. But first, let's remind ourselves of how small this nano-world actually is.
Football is about 100 million times smaller than the planet Earth. Things at the nanoscale are 100 million times smaller than a football.
The Advanced Microscopy unit here in Cran is a leading example of a microscopy centre in the world, I think.
Light no longer can actually see the nanoscale objects. So we need to have advances in our microscopes, our means of manipulating things at this tiny, tiny level.
So the TEM, the transmission electron microscope, is a very vital part of my research and being able to look at these monolithic layers of atoms.
Whenever you're trying to look at something that's smaller than the wavelength of light, well then you're going to have to use new techniques such as electron microscopy, which uses electrons to probe the surface of materials.
Cran's powerful electron microscopes are also important to industry partners who want to view their samples in nanoscale detail, but who don't have access to the necessary technology in their own companies.
We've got some of the best microscopes in the world here. And without them, we'd be groping around in the dark. With them, we can see individual atoms in nanoscale objects. And that's pretty much as small as you can go.
Without these advances in technology, we'd be like trying to turn a piece of paper with 20 gloves in our hands.
The exciting thing is, once you can visualize your system, you can begin to plan experiments to control it and manipulate the properties for future applications.
We can design materials, create patterns, we can remove certain parts of structures and add other things to them. So it allows us not only to look at, but also to manipulate objects at a very, very small scale, the nanoscale.
It gives us the tools that we need to really keep ourselves at the cutting edge and at the highest level of research. So from a research point of view, it's absolutely vital.
In order for us to compete in this nanoscience and nanotechnology revolution here in Ireland, we need to invest in exactly the kind of infrastructure that we have here, which gives us that competitive advantage to be able to get into the game and play with the big players in nanoscience.